Well, I realized I wasn't filming that, son of a gun. So, to lube this, remove these 3 screws. The shaft comes out, it's about that long. It was pretty dry. I wiped it off, applied some real butter, right? And then I look up and the camera was off, so. Yeah, so it has been lubed. Again, when you're, the things you have to worry about when you're trying to film this stuff. And I do much better when I can just focus on the project and not what I'm saying, what I'm filming, how I'm editing, all that stuff. So that was actually pretty easy, just those 3 screws. Now what I did have to do though, you remove the 3 screws and then so the platter spindle, right, it goes up through the top of the turntable, but it actually sits on another post. So there's a post here. So remove these 3 screws, and then I had to end up just turning this. Well, let me just show you. What the hell? So, since I didn't film it, but I've already lubed this, so I'm not going to apply any more oil. So here you've got the three screws, right? And this comes up. Oops, that one screw's not loose yet. See how it rotates? And then there's the shaft. Right, so I lube that and then you reposition it. Now, because I use quite a bit of oil, you have to let the air slowly escape. And what I did last time is I put these 3 screws in position first. So I really didn't want to pull this back apart, but and then kind of force those down, tighten them up, and should be good. There we go. It's releasing the air now. So you get like an airtight seal almost with that when you apply oil. So it has to slowly seep out, and then you got to get it aligned. There we go. Okay, so that's been lubed, tightened. I'm going to assume for now that the owner is going to be comfortable with what I have done. So I'm going to put the bottom back on, flip this back over, confirm that they're good, and if so, I'll cut to the next segment, which will be me kind of doing the wrap up where I polish the dust cover and do all that fun stuff. So anyway, I'm going to put the bottom back on this, put the feet on, call the owner, see what they want to do. Alright, so let's take a look at this quartz lock issue. Let's see what the speed is on this. Power, arm is up, start. But we want to keep the arm up, so up. So I'm interested to see what the wow and flutter is on this, and as well as the speed. So it's running slow. Quartz lock is flashing. Yeah, there's quite a bit of looks like there's quite a bit of a speed variation there. So this is going to run for a minute to give me a good idea of how it is. Wow, that's hard to watch, isn't it? That's what it was supposed to be doing. So anyway, I'm going to click away, let this run for the full minute, and I'm going to come back and see what it says, and then we will look to see what might be causing that, and then that way we can compare the before and after. So right now 32.45, but it's 5, 6, 4, 7, kind of floating around all over. Okay, so 32.46 was the speed, which is slow. And wow and flutter is 1.7%, which is high. Normally it's, you know, 1/10%, something like that. So we're going to unplug this and remove the head shell. And pop the bottom off. Probably have to pull the schematic up on this, look at the alignment procedures as well as the circuit that controls the speed to see what might be going on. So my initial thoughts are either maybe a dirty variable resistor, bad capacitor, could be a bad IC, I guess, which hopefully it's not that. Oh no, that stays in, that's right. And this, I think these unscrew like this, right? Nope, they do come off. Sounds like one of the dogs just joined me. Who's in here? Oh. Ralph is in here today. Okay, bottom is off. So a couple of variable resistors look like they are probably sealed, and they are both, they have been marked. So got a tantalum cap, a couple of electrolytics. So that should be the speed board there. I think that's the oscillator, the quartz oscillator. All right. Well, let's, I don't know that I can clean those pots. I can't move them, they are marked. So what I'm going to do I'm just going to move this VR1. I think I was looking at the service manual last night for a little bit, and I think VR1 is 33. So what I want to do is just move this a little bit and see what that does before I start dismantling anything and getting into it. So, because what I'm wondering is if there's some oxidation on the VR, you know, maybe I'll have to pull it and try to clean it or something like that. So I'm gonna do another speed test on this. I guess I don't really need the head, well, I need the head shell just to make sure it's balanced. All right. Start. Yeah, that quartz lock is still freaking out. So let's see what that looks like now. Yeah, that wow and flutter is still crazy. 1.5, 1.3. Yeah, it's way too high still. Okay, well, it was worth a shot, just to see what happened. And as I looked over the service manual last night, I can tell you that the alignment procedures on this, as I read them last night, were pretty fuzzy. So I'm going to pull down the service manual in here and see what I can see. Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. This, I can't remember where that goes. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know how to take this thing apart. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 caps on that motor control board. What, 11 caps? There's another cap there. I don't know what that is. Well, I got some caps there too. And the service manual is not helpful at all. I'll be completely honest with you. At least for me, I don't know. I'm having a hard time understanding. Well, there's some equipment that I don't have to align this. So I have an oscilloscope, but it's asking for a, what the hell was it? It's a, I don't know, something popped up here. Anyway, if I can get this board out, I'm just going to recap it. And then we'll see what happens. Yeah, maybe a dozen caps there. So I have to figure out how this thing actually comes out of here. Because maybe these two screws? Maybe it's just these two screws? But this looks like it's attached to that, where that integrated circuit is. So, oh yeah, look at that, comes right out. All right. So this looks a little bit easier than what I thought it might be. So I think what I'm going to do is, yeah. So what I'm expecting to see in the service manual is a schematic for this board. And I'm going through it now, and I have not seen anything. Oh yeah, there is one. Okay, so it is here. All right. So what I'm focused on are the speed control capacitors. I want to change those first. So let me get into the service manual, see if I can identify what may need to be tested or changed, and then I'll let you know what happened, what I found. But what I'm going to do is figure out what's in that circuit, pull it, test it, might as well replace it, right? And then see if I can ID maybe a bad capacitor that's causing that speed issue. It could also be a dirty switch, but I don't know that that's it. So, but I'll hit the switch anyway, and just to make sure. Out of tolerance, close enough to 10%, right? So I'm not thinking that it was a bad cap, at least an electrolytic cap here. So, but I'm gonna put it back together and fire it up and see what happens. Luckily, this is pretty easy to disassemble. So what I'm gonna do is button this back up, flip it over, see what happens, and then go from there. So you're not gonna miss much. I'll be back. Okay, so I guess I didn't record what I just did. That's the story of my life. So what I did was variable resistor number 1 underneath, had the screwdriver underneath there. Don't want to put it in there now because this is all turned on. But while my phone was up here, I hit start and I adjusted it up to 33. It lowered the wow and flutter down to 30. Well, it's at 33.37. Wow and flutter is at 0.13, which is decent. And 45 is locked in as well. So if I go to 45, you will see it stops at like 45.07. So anyway, it was just adjusting those variable resistors. Another way to do this is with, probably the better way to do it is with the oscilloscope. But I was trying to interpret what their instructions were in terms of this stair-step waveform and some other stuff. Or this stair-step set of waveforms, and I was just like, I'm just going to eyeball it. So that's what I did. So anyway, this is good. I'm going to call it good. That's awesome. So recapped motor control board. Whoops. I'm going to turn this off. Recap motor control board. Speed seems locked in. I'm going to let this run. Check the speed after about 20 minutes, make sure it's good, and then I'm going to give it a listen and hopefully call this one, well, I've got to do the cosmetic stuff on it, so we'll do the, we'll finish cleaning up all the other stuff on it. So, all right, I'm happy to say that the PL707 is done. Just had to wipe it down and get some little bit of stuff off of it. So dust cover's been polished, and again with this one, this wasn't a restoration. It was just a, hey, put this in a closet a while ago. Can you just make sure it's working? And so that's what I did on this. Just a basic service. So my impressions of the PL707, again, I'm a Denon turntable fan, and I would say that this is similar to like a DP47. That's the last Denon that I had that was full auto. A little bit lighter, I think, you know, just weight-wise. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful turntable. I was considering getting one of these, and you know, I would look up comments people made on Audio Karma, and you know, would I have any reservations owning one of these? Absolutely not. But if I had to go head-to-head Denon, Pioneer, or the 47 or the 707, you know, I don't know. I don't know which one I would pick. I love Denons. I love Denons. But I don't know. I don't know which one I would choose. Boy, I got these cords all tangled up. I was thinking about shooting a side-to-side video with one of my Denons, but I have a DP60. I have a couple of DP60s, and it's not the same. It wouldn't be fair. The DP60 is a higher end table. It's more along the lines of a Pioneer PL50 or a PL70. So if I had a PL70, I would probably shoot a head-to-head video. And my Denon DP47 was, it went on to another home already, so because I had too many turntables. So it would have been nice to know this was coming before I sent that one off, just to shoot a comparison video. I do have a 45, but it's still kind of different. It's a little bit smaller than this. So anyway, enough of my babbling and rambling. So the Pioneer PL707 is done, and it's going to go back to the owner soon. And as always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.